Hi guys, this is Mr. Mahmoud and today's lesson is going to be about the phrases. That's the second lesson, it's a grammar. And quickly I'm going to revise with you what we have taken last lesson. It was about the phrases. What is the phrase? The phrase is a group of words that related words that is used as single part of speech that doesn't have or contain both a verb and its subject. Like this could have been. So could have been, all of these are verbs, so they don't have any subject, that's why it is a phrase. Instead of Deborah and him, the same idea, it doesn't have any verb, that's why it is a phrase. The first kind of a phrase is what we took last lesson. It was the prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase contains both preposition and the object of preposition, like these examples: to the pool, at the Jackson's house, instead of them. We can find here the preposition and we can find here the object of preposition, and both of them are the prepositional phrase. Today we're gonna know that the prepositional phrase can have two functions. It can be adjective phrase or adverb phrase. So prepositional phrase, it can be adjective phrase or adverb phrase. Very well. Let's start with the adjective phrase. What is the adjective phrase? It is a prepositional phrase. It means it has preposition and the object of preposition. The function of this prepositional phrase will be adjective. It means it modifies one of two, noun or a pronoun. Like any normal adjective, the normal adjective modifies noun or a pronoun. That's why the adjective phrase modify a noun or pronoun. Adjective can answer what kind, which one, how many, how much, or whose. So also it can answer one of these questions. Let's go to the examples. The store with the neon sign is open. So guys, we have here prepositional phrase, which is with the neon sign. With is the preposition, the neon sign or the object of preposition, and the whole phrase is prepositional phrase. But this phrase could modify this noun, the store, that's why it is adjective phrase. The second one, we saw a performance by a street magician. So by is the preposition, magician is the object of preposition, and this is the prepositional phrase. It works as adjective phrase. Why? Because it could modify or describe performance. Let's have some tips here. More than one adjective phrase may modify the same noun or pronoun. So the adjective phrase can be more than one in one sentence, and all of them, these phrases, will modify the same noun. Like, here is a gift for you from Uncle Steve. For you, it is modifying gift. That's why it is prepositional phrase, which has a function of adjective phrase. From Uncle Steve, the same idea. It is prepositional phrase, which is working as adjective phrase, and it is modifying gift. Do not forget, guys, gift is noun. The second tip is an adjective phrase may also modify the object in another adjective phrase. A majority of the mammals in the world sleep during the night. So here we have the first prepositional phrase of the mammals. Of the mammals modify majority, that's why it is adjective phrase. In the world, it is also prepositional phrase. In preposition, the world is object of preposition, and they are modifying mammals, which is part of this, the first adjective prepositional phrase. Let's go to exercise 3, identifying adjective phrase. Identify the adjective phrase in each of the following sentence and write the word that each phrase modifies. Let's go one by one. While she was a student in France, Mary met Perry Curie. The first thing we're gonna look for is the preposition. What is the preposition here, guys? Yes, it is in. In France. So in preposition, France. Objective preposition, both of them are prepositional phrase. But what are they modifying? They are modifying student. Student is noun, that's why in France is adjective phrase. So in France is modifying student. Perry had already gained fame as a scientist. What is the preposition? As. So as a scientist is the prepositional phrase. What does it modify? It modifies fame. It modifies fame. That's why it is adjective phrase. Number 3, Paris was where the two of them became friends. We're gonna look for the same thing. It is the preposition. Yes, of them. Of them. It is the prepositional phrase. It modifies to, so it means it modifies a noun. That's why it is an adjective phrase. Their enthusiasm for scientists brought them together. For science is the adjective phrase, prepositional one, and it modifies enthusiasm. The marriage between the two scientists was a true partnership. The same thing, between the two scientists. So this is the adjective phrase. What does it modify? It modifies the marriage. The year after their marriage, another scientist discovered natural radioactivity. Very well. Where is the preposition? Let's look for it. The year after their marriage, another scientist. So another is the preposition, scientist, objective preposition, both of them working as adjective phrase, and they are modifying marriage. Number 7, the Curies began researching the radioactivity of certain substances. The same thing, of certain substances, is the prepositional phrase. It modifies radioactivity. That's why it is adjective phrase. Their theories about a new element were proved to be true. Alright, so let's look for the preposition. About new element. About a new element is the prepositional phrase. It modifies theories. That's why it is adjective phrase. Their research on mineral pitchblende uncovered a new radioactive element, radium. On the mineral pitchblende, and here this is prepositional phrase which is modifying research, and it is adjective phrase. In 1903, the Curies and another scientist shared a Nobel Prize for their discovery. So for their discovery is prepositional phrase working of its function as adjective phrase which modifies prize or a Nobel Prize. So let's guys again repeat everything. Adjective phrase is a prepositional phrase. There is a proposition, there is objective proposition, and they are modifying noun or pronoun. They are describing noun or pronoun. The second one, or the second function of the prepositional phrase is adverb phrase. So the prepositional phrase works as adjective phrase and it works as adverb phrase. So first, what is the adverb phrase? It is prepositional phrase that modifies verb, adjective, or adverb. The same idea exactly as the adverb. Adverb all the time is modifying one of these three elements: verb, adjective, or adverb. Like an adverb, adverb phrase tells how, when, where, or to what degree. An adverb phrase can come anywhere in the sentence. It can come anywhere in the sentence. So let's go, guys, here, for example, quickly, number 2 and number 4. Vitamins are provided in many foods. What is the prepositional phrase? In many foods. What does it describe or modify? It modifies provided. Provided is what? It is a verb. For health. For health here is a prepositional phrase. What does it modify? It modifies important. Important is adjective. At breakfast we eat fruit and cereal. Fruit and cereal. Very well. At breakfast. At breakfast. At breakfast at the prepositional phrase. What does it modifies? Modifies what we eat, or it modifies this verb eat. That's why it is adverb phrase. Many people supplement their diet with extra herbs. With extra herbs. Here, herbs with extra herbs, the prepositional phrase, and it is modifying supplement. That's why it is adverb phrase. Let's go to the exercise. It is number 5. When he was only a baby, Pecos Bill fell into the Pecos River. We're gonna look for the same thing, which is the preposition into the Pecos River. So into the Pecos River is the prepositional phrase, and what does it modify? We need to know. It modified fell. It modified fell. So what is fell? Is it a verb? Is it adverb, adjective? Yes, it is a verb. That's why it is adverb phrase. Into the Pecos River is adverb phrase, modifies fell. His parents searched for him but couldn't find him. For him. For him, prepositional phrase. It modifies searched. That's why it is adverb phrase. Searched is verb. He was saved by coyotes who raised him. So by coyotes is the adverb phrase, which is describing saved. Saved is a verb. That's why by coyotes is adverb phrase. He thought for many years. For many years. So for many years is a prepositional phrase. It modifies thought, the verb. That's why it is adverb phrase. After a long argument, a cowboy convinced Bill that he wasn't a coyote. So we're gonna look for prepositional phrase, which is after long argument. Yes. So after long argument is the prepositional phrase, modifies convinced, and here it works as adverb phrase because it is modifying verb, convinced. During a drought, Bill dug the bed of the Rio Grande. During a drought at the prepositional phrase, it is modifying dug. Dug is a verb, that's why it is adverb phrase. On one occasion he rode a cyclone. Prepositional phrase here is on one occasion. It modifies the verb rode, that's why it is adverb phrase. A mountain lion once leaped from a ledge above Bill's head. From a ledge above Bill's head is the prepositional phrase, and it is modifying leaped. Leaped is a verb, that's why it is adverb phrase. Bill was always ready for trouble and soon had the mountain lion tamed. So, with the prepositional phrase, for trouble. For trouble here modifies ready. Ready is an adjective, so for trouble is adverb phrase because it is modifying adjective. Stories like these about Pecos Bill are common in the West. Prepositional phrase is in the West and it modifies common. So common is adjective, therefore in the West is adverb phrase. So guys, we're gonna continue now. That's identify is it adjective clause or adverb clause. Number 1. Did you know that there are hundreds of shark species? What is the preposition? The preposition here is of. So of shark species is the prepositional phrase. What is the function of it? Is it adverb or adjective? It depends on what does it modify. Here it modifies hundreds. Hundreds is the noun. Yes, it is the noun. So it is adjective phrase. Number 2, scientists group these species into 28 families. Into 28 families. So guys, where is the prepositional phrase? Here we have it, into 28 families. Into 28 families is modifying or describing which one of these? Yes, it is modifying group. That's why group here is verb. So into 28 families is modifying this verb, therefore it is an adverb phrase. Number 3, sharks within the same family share many traits. Share many traits. Here we have within the same family. It is the prepositional phrase. It modifies sharks. Sharks is the noun. So this prepositional phrase is adjective phrase. The body shape, tail shape, and teeth determine the differences among families. Determine differences among families. So guys, what is the prepositional phrase? Among families, and it is modifying differences. That's why it is adjective phrase. That's why it is adjective phrase. Number 5, sharks are found throughout the world's ocean. Throughout the world's ocean. So this is the prepositional phrase. What does it modify? It modifies found. Found is the verb. That's why it is adverb phrase. Number 6, as the map shows, some sharks prefer cold water and others live mostly in warm tropical oceans. Prepositional phrase here, in warm tropical oceans. N is the preposition, oceans is the object of preposition, warm, tropical, both of them are modifying oceans, and the whole of it is the prepositional phrase. What does it modify? It modifies mostly. That's why it is adverb phrase. Number 7, only 30 kinds of sharks are dangerous. What is the prepositional phrase? Of sharks. What does it modify? It modifies kinds. Kinds is noun. That's why it is adjective phrase. The huge whale shark, however, falls under the not dangerous category. Under the not dangerous category is the prepositional phrase. What function does it work? Here it is adverb phrase because it modifies false. False is the verb. Divers can even hitch a ride on its fence. On its fence is a prepositional phrase and it modifies ride. Ride is a noun. Therefore, on its fence is adjective phrase. Beautiful yet frightening to most people. Sharks are perhaps the world's most awesome creature. The prepositional phrase here is to most people. What does it modify? It modifies frightening. Frightening is an adjective. So the prepositional phrase is modifying an adjective, therefore it is adverb phrase. So guys, we have just this homework. It's page 97, review P. You're gonna use each of these prepositional phrases to put it in right sentence. Use it one time as adjective phrase and the other time as adverb phrase. Thank you very much for your listening. Have a good time.